Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Math with Dr. War. Today we're going to focus on modeling expressions or linear equations. Now these first two examples, we will be modeling expressions. How do you know you're given an expression? Notice our answer choices, you do not see an equal sign. Expressions will never have an equal sign. However, if it's an equation, you will see an equal sign. Let's look at our first example. Which expression is represented 5 less than the product of 7 and x? What operations are given to us in our problem? I see the word less, which represents subtraction, and I see the word product, which is represented by multiplication. I'm going to use a dot. I also see a very key word here, than. And whenever you see the word than, you must write your expression in the reverse order. What does that mean? It means that the product, whatever follows the word than, so after than, I see the product of 7 and x. That's going to be your first term. So that would be 7x. And then less, which is minus, and then 5. So your expression is 7x minus 5. And if we look at our answer choices, the answer is B. Now, if you're having difficulties, I tell students use the process of elimination to help you. Remember, we saw the word than, which indicated reverse the order, which meant that the product of 7 and x was first. So I'm going to go through and look to see where I see 7 and x, and it being my first term. Now A, I do have the 7 first, but the 7 is multiplying x and 5 because of the parentheses. So my answer is not A. Now if I look at C, the 7 is being added to x. Remember, our operation was multiplication. So my answer is not C. And D, notice that the 7x was supposed to be our first term. In D, it's our second term. So that is not our answer. Because remember, you have to write in reverse because of the word than. Always remember those keywords that tell you you have to reverse your order, which is than, and also the word from. Now sometimes you're given word problems which are very wordy, such as this one. To watch a basketball game, spectators must buy a ticket at the door. The cost of an adult ticket is $30. Now that's very important. The cost of an adult ticket is $30. And the cost of a student ticket is $15. If the number, so notice they say if the number, so we don't know how many adults attended the game. If the number of adult tickets sold is represented by A, and the number of student tickets sold is represented by S, which expression represents the amount of money collected at the door from the ticket sales? So we know from the problem that if you're an adult, you will be charged $30. And they said that the adults are represented by the variable A. And notice A is the first letter in the word adult. So in algebra, we always use the first letter of the word as our variable. So adult, A. Now student, if you are a student, you are charged $15. And they said to us, use S to represent student. Now we don't know how many adults or how many students attended the basketball game, because they said the number. So some random number, A, of adults attended the game, and they were charged $30 each. So their cost would be A times 30. Now in algebra, we always like our coefficient, which is the number first. So they prefer you write it as 30A. And for the student, which is S, we don't know how many of them attended, but we know the cost was $15 each. So S times 15, but we prefer to write it as 15S. If you get lost and you can't find a total, use numbers. Suppose 2 adults attended the game. What will be the cost for their ticket? It will be 2 times 30, which is $60. So you're multiplying. So we want to find the amount of money collected. Now collected means total, total means to add. So we're going to take the adult tickets, 30 times how many adults attended, added to $15 for each student ticket, because we don't know how many students attended, and that will give us the total money collected at the door. So our answer is D. Now these are not that difficult. You must not divorce your reading skills from your math skills. And also here, you have to think critically and use the process of elimination. Now let's look at modeling linear equations. Now notice all of my problems here, the answer choices have an equal sign. During a sale, an appliance that costs $275 is being sold at a discount for $220. Which equation can be used to find the size of the discount D during the sale? Now remember my previous video when we were translating words into equations, we said that is represented by the equal sign. So when I saw an appliance that costs $275 is right here, I knew that was my equals. So I have the equal sign here, and is being sold at a discount of $220. So I have to have equals to $220. I'm going to use the process of elimination. A equals $275. That is not my answer. Okay, B equals $220. So possible answer. C equals $275. Not my answer. D has equals $220. So my answer is either B or D. Let's go back to our problem. Now they said during a sale, the appliance that cost $275. So the original price was $275, and then a discount was being applied. Now what operation represents discount? It will be a subtraction. So we're subtracting some amount of money to give us $220, and you're subtracting from the original price. So it should be $275 minus whatever the discount is, which gives us our sale price of $220. So our answer is B. Now our answer is not D, because if we look at it, you take the original price $275 and then you're minusing the original price multiplied by the discount, and then that gives us $220. That does not make sense. So our answer is B. Remember, they're going to use real world scenarios with these word problems. Let's look at our fourth example. Mrs. Baker purchased a number of juice packs at a cost of 30 cents each. So they didn't tell us, they said, again, notice they said a number. So we don't know how many she purchased, but we know they cost 30 cents each. One was 30 cents. And a loaf of bread that cost $1.19. Now notice they said a loaf, which means one loaf for $1.19. Now it says the total cost of her purchases was $2.99. So that total cost means that it's supposed to equal $2.99. Let's look at our answer choices and use the process of elimination. Now A equals $1.19. Now remember, the $1.19 was the loaf of bread. How can you equal the loaf of bread? That's not our answer. B is equaling 30 cents. Remember, the 30 cents was the cost of one juice pack, so our answer can't be B. Remember, it must equal $2.99. So our answer is either C or D. Now remember, the juice, and notice they're using J to represent the juice. We don't know how many she bought, but we know they cost 30 cents each. So 0.30 J plus our loaf of bread will total her purchases, which is $2.99. So C is our answer. Now D is not our answer. Let's look at it. Now we know the $1.19 is the bread. How are you taking the loaf of bread and multiplying it by J juice? Those are not alike terms. Remember, here's a key thing. Like terms with like terms. $1.19 is the bread, and you're multiplying it with the juice. So right away, my answer is not D. Anita was selling Girl Scout cookies for the local Girl Scout troop. Each box of cookies cost $2.95. So if you buy one box of cookies, it's $2.95. Mrs. Brown purchase of Girl Scout cookies total $14.75. So again, notice we have that word total, which means equals. It equals to $14.75. Choose the equation to determine how many boxes of Girl Scout cookies were purchased by Mrs. Brown. So we know it must equal $14.75, so let's go to our answer choices. Now A equals $14.75, and it's multiplied by a variable C. That is not our answer. C, on the other hand, equals to C, which is the cookies. That is not our answer. B and D are the two that are equaling to the total cost of the cookies, which is $14.95. Now remember, in our problem, they said that each box costs $2.95. We don't know how many boxes Mrs. Brown. We don't know how many she bought, but we know they cost $2.95 each. So our answer is B. Again, if you want to, you could use some numbers. So you're like, okay, suppose Mrs. Brown wanted to buy 5 boxes of cookies. How would I find the total cost? You would take 5 and times it by $2.95. So again, you're doing a multiplication. We don't know how many boxes she's buying, so C times $2.95. Now your answer is not D. Let's unpack this. So D is saying she has $2.95 and she's adding cookies. 1 box of cookies. So your answer is not D. Again, these are real world scenarios. Read through the equation, understand what they mean, use the process of elimination, and don't divorce your reading skills from your math skills. I hope this has been helpful. Good luck on your math examination.